This is Stephen AKINTAYO, and today I want to share on becoming a real estate brand. Okay, you see, people want to buy from somebody that they believe is an authority in a business. They don't just want to buy from just anybody, right? They want to buy from somebody that they think is big, is known, is loved. There's a reason why people buy brands. There's a reason why, I'll give an example. I'm here wearing a palm slippers, right? It's Hermes palm slippers, Hermes. I have a similar palm slippers by another, same design, just that it's a different color. Same design, everything same. But something is strange. Same design. This is, I think, over $1,000, the pricing. The one the other one that I have that is not Hermes is, I am almost sure, less than $300. So, why is the same design? I'm almost sure it's the same quality. Almost sure. This feels lighter than the other one, but almost sure the same quality. I mean, they're all made in China, and then you put your logo. Same manufacturers, you believe it or not, that manufacture most of these things, right? Because most, including your iPhone, is manufactured in China. Yes. Okay, it's manufactured in China. But what's the difference? The brand name, Hermes. So, how do you build a real estate brand? How do people begin to respect you as a brand, as an authority? The first thing is you need to make a claim. You need to make a claim. Who are you? What is your brand? We call it the brand promise. What is your brand promising us? What is your brand telling us? Okay, who is your brand? What is your brand offering? And it begins with the brand messaging. So many years ago, I started calling myself, I think Nigeria's something, right? I was into digital marketing then. So Nigeria's number one, most preferred, top digital marketing consultant. It began with, and your brand will go through that season, right? It began with people saying, and started laughing, like, okay, who made you number one? And then it moved to from laughing at you to reluctantly accepting that you are, to finally accepting that you are, to people even reaching out to you to say you are bigger than this name now. So, which ultimately happened to me. So I became bigger than just in Nigeria. I mean, I was all over. And then I became Africa. And today, even Africa is too small because, we're now in Dubai, we're opening in Doha, we're in UK, we're in US. So to claim where Africa is really, really low. And so it's now world known, or from a world, most sought after, that came from Africa. Right? So you first have to call yourself something. You just have to. Every brand made a promise before they ever deliver on their promise. Every brand. Elon Musk claimed Tesla was going to give us an electric car before we got it. Promised he was going to give us an autonomous car before we got it. Promised to give us a high robot that would take care of our house and do all of that before they ever gave us. So you must understand, you have to make a promise, a brand promise. That's where you start from. And number two is that the brand promise has to be communicated loudly, boldly, shouted all to the rooftop. Tell everybody, we're not cheap, we're not like everybody else, this is what we promise. Number three or number four, your brand promise must be intangible. Okay? And this is the part people struggle to understand about branding, right? You will have missed it if whatever you're promising as your brand is tangible. It has to be tangible. The ultimate brand promise cannot be touched, cannot be felt. Ultimate brand promise. So I give you an example. Coca-Cola, I don't know if their slogan or payoff line has changed. At the time it was called open happiness. First of all, can happiness be touched? But happiness is real. Okay? Can you hold happiness with your hand? Nope. But they say, well, when you opened Coke, you have opened happiness. Do you see now? So in reality, they even put in your subconscious that you should be excited taking Coke. And there's some joy you get by taking Coke. Let's look at, Rolls Royce. I love Rolls Royce, right? Rolls Royce, but part of Rolls Royce promise is luxury, right? But can you even touch the word luxury? Is luxury touched, or is just a mental feel? All the luxurious brand, nobody touches luxury really. It's a feeling. It's a feeling of luxury that comes from being pricey, being difficult to get, right? Uniquely designed. Basically, but it's all something intangible. So there must be that intangible promise with your brand. Now, this is not to now say your brand should also give a tangible one. I'm just saying there's the intangible aspect of your branding that is just a feeling, okay, that you have communicated ahead of time people will get by interacting with your brand. A feeling you are promising that people will get by interacting with your brand. Lastly, in building, this real estate brand, very important, you must leverage your communication, information marketing. I've shared it in one of the episodes of this 30-day challenge. A very great brand, has to talk, has to communicate, has to say something, and you must understand there has to be consistency in the communication. So you have to figure out a unique way you can communicate your brand, the value, the services that you're offering. This 30-day challenge, for example, I didn't charge for it, even though I could have charged and made good money. But part of the benefit is ultimately that these 30 days is also a way of growing my brand. Some people will even see this video until 5 years from now, some 10 years from now. But we strengthen their love, their belief, their faith in who I am and what I stand for. So, hear this, and this is very important. In building your brand, you have to be intentional. No brand is ever built without intentionality. Jesus of Nazareth was intentional with building his brand, even though it was a religious brand. Buddha, name it. Very intentional people. Mortal men are very intentional in building their brand. There was a day Cristiano Ronaldo was on the press conference, and there was a bottle of soda drink. It was Coca-Cola. And he moved it aside, and there was another bottle of water, and he picked the water. Coca-Cola lost about $5 billion in their share value. He didn't even say one word. But you need to also know that Ronaldo was also being intentional about his brand. That he wasn't into sugary, unhealthy soda drinks. He wanted something healthy, water. So you have to be intentional. Great brands are intentional. And that's why you have to protect the brand. It's all about reputation. And reputation takes time to build. And that's also critical. You will never become a real estate brand overnight. I didn't get here overnight that you thought I was worthy of teaching you. That in itself is a function of how much I've built in the brand. Okay, but it takes time. It takes being intentional. So I want you to do something today. I want you to communicate. I want you to do a video just like this one and communicate who you are. You can just start by saying, I'm Stephen AKINTAYO. I'm the world's most sought after investment coach of African descent. Right? I help people build wealth, and part of it is through real estate investment. And I want to share with you today, blah, 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 blah. And you end up by giving them your phone number, your official email, and how they can reach out to you. At least do that. But don't forget all the elements that you must make a brand promise. Okay? Make a brand promise. There must be intangibility to it. There must be something that you can't touch, but it's part of your brand. Okay, people always say it around me, there's this aura, there's this feel, calmness, sense of wealth around me. You have yours too. Yours could be humor, joy, but look at you and come up with yours. Assignments, I hope you're making all the calls and reaching out to many people, telling them who you are, what you do. Keep at it. I love you. I'm Dr. Stephen AKINTAYO.